How many, does just that topic sound pretty good right now? Just the topic, yes? Awesome. That's why I wanted to show you that. Get unstuck when? When? Now would be good, yes. And that is how to use what you have to get more of what you want. Thank you. This could be you. Now, how many of you, by show of hands, have had the opportunity to walk across the stage and get that recognition, get that award by show of hands? How many of you have had that opportunity? A great percentage of you. Now, how many of you want to do that? How many of you that's on your vision board or in your dream? Fantastic. So it's about half and half. Awesome. Okay, so this could be you. This is one of our coaching clients. This is in the white there. That's Ling Ling. Now, I'm going to be introducing you to her a little bit later, but I was speaking at a network marketing conference. I have the honor and privilege of speaking at many, many network marketing conferences all around the globe, and we had the honor of having one of our clients just walk across the stage for the first time and win that presidential diamond. All right, so I want you to meet another one of our clients. Her name is Sheila. Now, Sheila also heard me speak at a network marketing conference, one of the biggest in the world. And she heard me speak, and she had a dream. And just like so many of you do, you have a dream. She had a dream to be on that stage, winning that recognition. But she had a problem. In fact, she was sitting right where you are, but she had a problem. And that problem was that she'd been working really, really, really hard. And she'd spent tens of thousands of dollars on lots of personal growth programs, lots of other things to help her reach that level, but she just hadn't. She was stuck at about $5,000 in sales per month. Now, for many people, 5,000 sales is like awesome, right? Like, wow, that would be amazing. But for her, she wanted more, right? She knew she was capable of more, and she wanted more, and she was really, really working at it, but she just had never been able to break through. So she was stuck, okay? So let me ask you this question. What would getting rid of that self-doubt, confusion, and overwhelm do for you and your family? If I could show you in the short time that I have with you today, what that would do, what would that do for you and your family? Getting rid of that. Just shout it out. What would getting rid of that self-doubt, confusion, overwhelm, what would it do for you? Freedom, right, what else? Time, more time, right, what else? Less stress, absolutely, what else? Confidence, right, awesome, fantastic. Okay, well, all of these things and more, this is what's possible when you get unstuck now. All right, so here's just a little bit about what it's done for me and my family. Anybody know who that is there? Susie Orman, right. This was filmed or shot at a party for Hay House authors. As Ray mentioned, I'm a Hay House author along with other publishers. And so Susie Orman, she's very, very nice, very friendly, taking the family to Discovery Cove right here in Orlando. Anybody know who that is? That person is, I know it's kind of blurry. Can you see who that is? Joel Osteen, exactly. Many of you have seen Joel Osteen on TV every Sunday, right? And by the way, notice he's wearing a tracksuit. When have you seen Joel Osteen in a tracksuit? You've never seen Joel Osteen in a tracksuit. That's because this is backstage, and with 15,000 people in an auditorium, we got backstage, to be with Joel Osteen and swimming with dolphins and ziplining and all those other things. So it's just done incredible things for my family and me. So let me ask you a question right now. Are you suffering from SOS? What does that stand for? Shiny object syndrome. Anybody suffering from that, right? Having way too many distractions, yes? We live in a world of infinite distractions. Are those distractions going to go down or going to go up? Up. Why is that? Because that's what's going to happen. That's why, right? It's not going to go down. Anybody who thinks it's going to go down can just go live in a log cabin somewhere out in the woods. But that's not going to happen. How about this? Anybody ever procrastinate? By show of hands. All right, the rest of you are waiting till later to raise your hands, right? Little procrastination humor for you this morning. Okay, so the point is right. Procrastination. Procrastination is the thief of time, right? Procrastination is the thief of time. That means when we procrastinate, we are wasting time. We're putting it off till tomorrow, which should have been done 2 weeks ago, correct? Right, so is procrastination a good habit or a bad habit, would you say? Probably bad, right? What we like to say is non-productive. Why? Because it's not moving you towards your goals. It's keeping you from your goals. Am I right or wrong? Right, okay. Or, you know what, is your business just stuck? I won't ask for a show of hands on this. You sometimes just feel the business is just stuck. You're working really hard, but it's like, you're putting on that gas and you're just stuck in the mud. Anybody sort of feel that way? Okay, so just imagine if I could show you how to get rid of these. Because let me share something with you that's very, very important. All of those things that I just showed you are costing you money, time, opportunity, freedom, the ability to go on the stage, win those awards. It's costing you all of those things, but guess what? All of those are symptoms. They're not the actual problem. Everybody thinks they're the problem, but they're just symptoms. Okay, and I'm going to show you why that is true over the next few minutes. All right, so just imagine you have qualified for that recognition. You're on the stage, you're winning that award, you're lying on the beach, you got the incentive trip, right? And all of that happened because you let yourself get unstuck. Does that sound good to anybody? Yes? All right, turn to the person next to you, right to your left, and say, that sounds good to me. Awesome. All right, fantastic. So, as Ray mentioned, we've helped our clients collectively make over $2 billion in sales. $1 billion, right? That's with a B, yes. And what that means is people just like you, the people in this room and the people watching on live stream, we've helped our clients add multiple 6 and 7 and yes, even 8 figures to their business. How many would be okay with anywhere in there? Anywhere in there, right? Turn to the person next to you and say, that's for me, that's for me. Awesome. Okay, so here's our agenda today, folks. All right, in the very brief time I have with you, first I'm going to show you what it's costing you to be stuck. Right? It is costing you right now, for those of you who are feeling this or having this experience, it's costing you, and I'm going to show you why and what it's costing you. Then I'm going to show you how to have more time, more energy, and more money while working less? Is that possible? No, that's impossible. Really? Interesting, okay? Next, I'm going to show you how to stop procrastinating using my 4 steps. How many steps, please? 4, thank you. 4-step Get Unstuck Now methodology that I've shared with my coaching clients, just like the people you've already seen, and how to turn today's information into lasting transformation, right? Because guess what? We don't need more information, do we? Right? What do we need? We need transformation. So what we like to say at my company at successclinic.com, we like to say there's no lack of information, but there's a definite lack of implementation. And that lack of implementation leads to a lack of transformation. Anybody agree with that? Yes? Okay, so we're going to show you how to get rid of that. Does that all sound good? All right, fantastic. All right, so very, very quick story about me. I grew up poor in a rich neighborhood. I know that sounds like a total cliche, but it's totally true. I grew up in a little town called Kennebunkport, Maine, which just happens to be one of the wealthiest communities in New England, but my family was dirt poor. I mean that literally because we lived at the bottom of a dirt road in a drafty, unfinished house that my parents ended up losing to foreclosure. So I grew up in this family of lack and not enoughness and fear and poverty, but right down the street there was great wealth and abundance. And I said, well, this doesn't make any sense. I tell you, the secret to success is work hard, right? How many of us have heard that? Work hard, that's the secret to success. Well, my parents worked really, really hard and they were never successful. So I knew that wasn't the answer. So I went on a long, long journey to find what are they not telling us? What's the secret of success that no one is sharing? And that's when, after many, many years of study and experience, I launched my company, successclinic.com, in my college dorm room in 1997 with $800 and a book on how to do HTML. Now, 1997, anybody remember back then? Right, being on the internet, remember the dial-up? Right, remember that? I mean, basically it was just me and Al Gore back then. There was just nobody there, right? So I'm glad you got that one. And so, people would just find me. They'd type in fear of success on Google, and I was like, hi, I'm here. I was at number 1. It was awesome, but those days are gone. But anyway, you see what I mean. People just found me, and, it was really exciting. I was changing lives. But, there was just a problem. I didn't really know how to run a business. I just had a dream, right? I had a dream. I wanted to make an impact. That's why I'm so honored and privileged to speak on stages like this with Ray and Jess Higdon, who they're all about impact. And that's what I've always been about impacting lives and changing lives, but I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to make money at this. And so I ended up spending $250,000, $250,000 on those gurus, right? The gurus with all the cars and all the shiny objects, right? Right now, and you're saying, well, Noah, where'd you get $250,000? I said, well, the point is, I just told you I started with $800. So I didn't have any money, but the point is, as money would come in, I just invest it right back into the business. Ben Franklin said, the best investment you can make is to pour your purse into your head. That way you can use your head to fill your purse. Does that make sense? And no one can ever take that away from you. The only problem is the gurus suck at teaching. They can't teach their way out of a paper bag. Anybody ever notice this? Right? And so that's the point. I ended up, after following all this lousy advice, 10 years later, 10 years of hard work, I ended up $40,000 in debt working out of my parents' basement. Try that one on for size, right? 10 years of hard work, doing what they said, and crashed and burned, nothing. Right? I mean, less than nothing. And so I was trying to put on a brave face, but man, I was so upset and angry and frustrated and depressed, and the worst feeling was that I'd let everyone down. I knew there were people counting on me who needed my message, but I just didn't know what to do. And that's when I made a decision that changed everything. How many of us have noticed that just that one decision can change your life, yes? right? So I made that decision, and very similar to Ray and Jess's story. I hired a business coach, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And I was so scared. I was $40,000 in debt. I didn't have any money. But you know what? When you find the why, you find the way. And my why too was very strong. I knew I had so many people to help, just like all of you do, so many people and lives to touch. And I said, I've got to make that work, and I've got to make this work. It was pretty much my last chance, right? And so then that's when everything changed for me. My surprising results, I got invited to speak all around the world, Australia and Costa Rica and Mexico, and for network marketing companies and entrepreneur and real estate companies all around the world, and my own live events. Picture of our Freedom Lifestyle Experience. You saw a few clips from that. It's a 3-day live event we have twice a year in Phoenix, Las Vegas, and here in Orlando. Radio and TV shows, and best of all, meeting my beautiful wife, Babette. This is us. Yeah. There she is. And paying cash for our Caribbean honeymoon. So just like Ray went from foreclosure to Fiji, I went from basement to bestseller in 24 months. And so anyway, yeah, because that's, as Ray mentioned, you know, I've got 14 books in 18 languages. Number 15 is coming out this year. It's called Power Habits, the new science for making success automatic. My books are in Chinese, French, German. I'm really popular in Germany for some. I'm like the David Hasselhoff of personal growth. You know, they love me in Germany. Get one of those jackets and stuff. But anyway, so number 1 and number 2 on Amazon. And again, you know, more than $2 billion in sales for our clients. So our mission is to impact 1 billion people and eliminate not enoughness from the earth. Because I argue that not enoughness is holding so many of us back. If you look at human suffering, if you look at the pain that so many people are going through, I believe that the main cause of that is the belief in not enoughness. How many would agree with that? Would agree with that assessment, right? That it's just the belief that I'm not enough. I can't do it, right? And so what others are saying, we've got testimonials and endorsements from the biggest names in the industry. Jack Canfield says my work is one of the most significant breakthroughs. Marie Forleo says my work is awesome and so very needed. That's a direct quote. She was so needed. Those of you love Marie Forleo. Gary V. We all know Gary. I've known him for a long time, and you know he says I bring a lot of value. And John Assaraf wrote the foreword for my book of Afformations. Noah's methods can literally transform your life. And then, of course, we have this handsome man who said, Noah's training was instrumental in helping me bounce back and into major profits. His insights on removing head trash are unlike anything I've ever seen. So that picture was taken many years ago, actually, when we first met. So one of the quotes that I love to remember as I go through and with our clients is that everything you desire is on the other side of fear. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. How many of you, by show of hands, are married in this room? How many are married, all right? How many of you, before you got married, had to go on a date with the person that you're married to, right? Probably a lot of you, right? Unless it was an arranged marriage, which is fine, but most people, they had to go on a date. So how many of you, by show of hands, either had to ask the person out or say yes to that person, right? That's kind of it, right? That's pretty much it. One had to ask and one had to say yes, right? Was there fear involved anywhere there? Was there fear? Yeah? Whether you were making the call or accepting the call, right? Right? There was fear like, is this an axe murderer? I don't know, right? This is and I always talked about, I told you I grew up poor in a rich neighborhood, so I didn't have the fear of rejection. I had the certainty of rejection. I was totally sure they were going to reject me. Ray talks about that all the time. When he picked up the phone, I know they were going to say no. And that's what when I called my wife, my now wife, the first time I know she was going to say no. And I asked her out and she said yes. I'm like, what? But I was scared, right? I was totally scared, right? So isn't it true that everything we desire is on the other side of fear? Does that make sense? Yes? Is that fair? Okay, and Ray Higdon said, he just said this yesterday, pursue discomfort because that is your fastest path to growth. Agree or disagree? Totally true, all right? So now let's look at what stuck really means. What does stuck actually mean? All right, so when I say the word stuck to you, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Just shout that out. What does it mean to you? To be stuck. What? Frustrated. What's another word? Just shout it out. Overwhelmed? Comfortable? Interesting. Oh, no movement. Right. So that's the point. But the whole point about stuckness is that you're working, right? Most people, when they feel stuck, it's like there's something stopping you, right? There's a thing and you're going, just like pressing on the gas and you're in the mud. You're not moving, so you're trying to get there. That's what the word frustrated actually means. The word frustration comes from the Latin word frustrare, which means to be in error. So there's an error with what you're doing. That's what the feeling of frustration means. Does that make sense? So stuckness really means that, and I'll show you exactly what it really means, is it means that you don't have the time, the energy, the relationships, and the money that you really desire. All right, that's what we show you in my Get Unstuck Now program. All right, so that's the point, is this stuckness is those 4 areas that I just talked about: time, energy, relationships, and money. And we'll be going through each one of those. All right, so what is it costing you? What do you think it's costing you to be stuck? If you're stuck, if you're frustrated, if you have no movement, if you're overwhelmed, what is it costing you every week, month, year? What do you think it's costing you to be stuck if you're stuck? Health, everything? What else? Like money, how much money do you think per month or year that might be costing you? Could be millions, right? Hundreds of thousands, certainly. It's got to be in the 6 figures, doesn't it? Okay, and I'm going to show you examples and case studies of people that we've helped to go from multi-$1,000 teams to multi-million-dollar teams after applying my methods. Does that sound okay to anybody in here? Yes? All right, turn to the person to your right and your left and say, that's for me, that's for me, that's for me. All right, sounds good. All right, so now let me give you my 4 steps to get unstuck now. All right, so we're going to start with step 1, which is how to get more time. All right, because remember I said earlier that procrastination is the thief of time. What is it? Time. Thank you. Procrastination is the thief of time. All right, so why is time what we start with? Why is time the most valuable resource? Why is that? Because you can never get it back. It's the only resource that can never be replaced. All of Bill Gates' billions can't buy 1 minute of yesterday. Am I right or wrong? Okay, so no matter how much money you have, you can't go back, right? So time is, in fact, the most valuable resource for that reason. So I want to show you, I'm going to just pull nuggets out of my Get Unstuck Now program, and we show you the whole thing, all right? But I want to give you something you can walk away with right now and start using this right now today. Does that sound good? Okay, so there's 2 lists that will change your life. Okay, there are activities that we have to do every single day as entrepreneurs, as business owners, and they pretty much fall into 2 categories. Things that I'm great at and things I suck at. Okay? Now, the point is, there are things that you're great at that you really enjoy, and there's things that you suck at that you don't enjoy, but that you have to do to build your business. Am I right or wrong so far? Okay? All right, so I just give you an example from me, because why not? All right, so like I'm really great at speaking, writing, coaching, and connecting. And I have proof of that for the last 2 decades plus, right? So that's not just me bragging, it's an absolute fact, right? And so I'm definitely great at those things because I've proven that. Now, things I suck at are things like self-promotion and cold calling, right? And what's nice is I'm in a room where I can say that, right? Because we heard yesterday that several of the people on this panel said the same thing, didn't they? They said, I don't like promoting myself. I don't like talking about me and, what I had for breakfast and whatever. So what I've noticed is that there tend to be 2 types of people in the industry, which is people who are totally fine promoting all about themselves and people who aren't fine. So nobody's right or wrong, right? But the point is, if you're trying to do it like person A and you're a person B, then you're going to have problems. I tried it too. I tried being like those other guys and, hey, look at all my cool stuff. Look at all my shiny objects. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We all want nice things. But I said, gosh, I don't like it. I just don't feel comfortable doing this. I'm happier when I'm talking about you. I'm happier when I'm bragging about my clients, you see? So I said, my wife said, why don't you just do what you're happy at? I'm like, great idea, right? So I'll listen to your wife, man. Anyway, my point is, just do what is you. If you like self-promotion, then do it, right? But if you don't, still, it sort of has to be done, doesn't it, right? So you have to do some kind of promotion, and and then, of course, cold calling is a whole other issue, but the point is, what I want you to do is start here. I just want to give you a list, and we go through this whole process in the program, okay? But the point is, I want to give you some resources, because yes, somebody has to promote you. If it ain't going to be you, you got to find somebody who is. Is that fair? Or who will do it. So I have a team in the Philippines that promotes me. I gave them tons of content, and I said, here, go do it. Right? So I hired that. I outsourced it. Does that make sense? Now, what does that do for me? It frees my what? Time, exactly. So that I can do the things I'm great at, like speaking, writing, coaching, and connecting. Does that make sense? All right, so those things have to be done. But the point is, so many of you, that's just one big reason you're stuck, because you're trying to do everything. And we can't do everything. I don't care how good, smart, talented, hardworking you are, you just can't. Is that fair what I'm saying? Yes? Okay, so is this helpful? So here's some of the resources that we recommend. Fiverr, I'm sure you're all familiar with. Craigslist, you can certainly get Craigslist right in your area. Odesk, hire my mom. This is working moms. They work really, really hard, all here in the United States, but also all around the world. And we have an affiliate link. It's called noahstjohn.com/123. I'm affiliated with a company called 123 Employee. So there's plenty of resources out there. You can talk to people, at your local school or college or, marketing department or whatever. We walk you through this whole process in the program. But I just want to get you started today. Is this helpful? Okay, all right, so those are two lists that can change your life right now today. All right, so that's step one, is how to get more time. And we walk you through the whole process, the 10 ways to get more time. So you can literally gain 1 to 3 hours back in your day. Imagine having so many more hours in your day. What could you do with all that time, right? Having that freedom. So step 2 now is more energy. How to have more energy, right? Now, energy is so important because that's how we go through the day. So time is what you're doing, and energy is how you're doing it. Make sense? Okay? So, for example, do any of you ever feel fear, doubt, anxiety? Of course, we all do, don't we? Right? So we all feel these things about different things and in different times. But what is fear, right? What have we all heard fear is? What have we all heard? What's that famous acronym that we've all heard a million times? False evidence appearing real. That's totally wrong, all right? Well, next time you hear that, I want you to say, wrong! You don't have to say that out loud, but you can say it in your head, because you're going to hear motivational speakers say that. By the way, I'm not a motivational speaker. I was speaking actually at a network marketing conference for some of the top leaders, doing a keynote speech, and one of the top leaders of that company came up to me afterwards. She said, Noah, I took 6 pages of notes during your presentation, and she said, you're not a motivational speaker, you're a motivating speaker. I'm like, oh, I love that distinction. That was really nice, right? Because what do motivational speakers do? They get you all pumped up, and then you get home, and you're like, what am I supposed to do, right? I don't want that, right? I want you to have systems, right? That's why we give you systems, right, that are going to help you so you actually don't need to be motivated. Isn't that kind of cool, right? Because motivation it's fleeting. So anyway, fear is not false evidence appearing real. Some clever motivational speaker came up with that, now we all just repeat it, but that's not what it is at all. Fear, you can write this down, is the anticipation of pain. The anticipation of pain. That's all it is. It is a human emotion, and it's a real emotion, right? So going back to that example about those of us who got married, had to make the phone call or accept the phone call, right? The pain was, oh my gosh, I know she's going to reject me. And rejection hurts. Am I right or wrong? Right? Does anybody just love rejection? Yeah, give me more rejection. Come on, shoot me in the face while you're at it. Yeah, no, I don't think that's great, right? We don't like that, right? So what do? We avoid it. Yes? Okay. Or is it just me? No, it isn't just me. No, it's called humans. All right, so no, we're all doing this. All right, so the point is, going back to this point that I made earlier, and I'm going to keep coming back to this because it's so crucial. Everything you desire is on the other side of fear. Making the phone call, I know she's going to reject me. Oh gosh, she didn't. What? Now what? Oh, I got to take another step, right? And we got to go on the date. Are you everybody with me? Yes? Okay, so there are 4 types of energy that we show you in the program, all right? But I just want to walk you through these or show these to you, all right? So the 4 types of energy that we walk you through is physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Those are the 4 types of energy that we humans can take part in, right? Our resources. Physical is the quantity of energy that you have throughout the day. If you, right, are very lethargic and tired and have to take a nap, that's not great physical energy and you can't physically get it done, right? Emotional energy, that's the quality. That's how you go through your day. Are you happy and excited and, ready to go and come on, take it on? Or like, right? How'd you get a recording of my day? Stop that. All right, stop it. Anyway, mental, right? Focus, right? Are you focused? Are you shiny object? Shiny object. What one of my friends called it, we've heard of ADHD, right? We've all heard of this, right? So he called it ADOS. That stands for Adult Deficit, squirrel, right? You get what I'm saying, right? So that's, how could I have written 14 books, 15 books now, if I hadn't focused? Everybody with me, right? And then spiritual, which is the purpose, why you're here, the larger purpose, the impact that you want to have. Everybody with me so far? Okay, fantastic. So this is another great quote that, I just remembered, which is Vince Lombardi, the great NFL coach. I mean, the Super Bowl trophy is named after him. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. Isn't that so true, right? When you're tired, you're lethargic, beating yourself up all the time, it's like, oh, I got to make that call. You know what? I think I'll just watch some Netflix. I think I'll watch some cat videos on YouTube. And by the way, what's better than watching cat videos on YouTube? Exactly, nothing, right? I know. So, it's awesome because there's no fear, right? You're not going anywhere. Everybody with me on this? Yes? Okay. All right, so guess what we're going to do? How many of you are afraid of embarrassing yourself? Like that's one of your fears, or fear, like Ray was just talking about in my introduction, fear of that somebody making fun of you or saying, what's she doing? Or anybody have that kind of fear? Right? There's two people. All right, so let's move some energy. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to stand up right now. How many of you seen the movie Bohemian Rhapsody? Anybody seen that? Awesome. All right, we're going to recreate that movie right now. Ty, make sure you get this on film. All right, because everybody stand up. Energy. Come on. Now we're going to do right now, we're going to do a scene from that movie, and it's called We Will Rock You. Anybody remember that movie? That song? All right, now we're just going to do the first verse. We could do the whole song, but I don't have the time. All right, so we're going to move some energy, right? Why do you go to a rock concert? To listen to music? No, to move energy, right? That's why you're here. All right, so I didn't know what the words are. There's the words. You can read the words, right? We're going to count it down. Everybody remember? Ready? Go. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise playing in the street. Gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace. Kicking your can all over the place. Singing, we will rock you. We will rock you. Yeah, give yourself a high five. Woo, baby, give someone a high five and say, yeah, we rock. You rock. Exactly. Woo! I could do that all day. The clock is ticking. All right, let's go. All right, that feel good, right? So we want to have that energy. We show you how to have that energy and recreate that kind of energy throughout your day, right? So you don't need motivation. All right, so we got to harness that energy. That's what we show you in step 2. All right, now step 3, how to attract the right relationships. Anybody know who that is? Marie Osmond, yes, backstage. Woo, Marie Osmond, this is backstage at her Las Vegas show. How many seen that Las Vegas show? It's an awesome show, Donnie and Marie. So she's a huge fan of my work. You see 3 of my most popular books there in her hand. I mean, you can't pay for this. Or you could, but it's very, very expensive. I didn't pay for it. Anyway, huge fan. All right, so how did I do that? Wow, awesome. So relationships is very, very important, right? We have time, energy, now relationships. Why are relationships important? Well, last time I checked, many people that you're going to bring into your business are humans. Probably many of them, right? A good number, right? Generally speaking, it's not dolphins, orangutans, and gorillas, right? With a name like Noah, I know these things, okay? I had to do that one. Come on, Jeff. All right. Well, I try, Okay, so the point is, all right, so in section 3, we show you how to gain support from people who've never heard of you, because by definition, most human beings have not heard of you. Yes? Right? There's 7 billion people on the planet. Have they all heard of you? Not really, no. Okay, so by definition, to grow your team, you must go to people who have never heard of you. Is this fair? Okay, so this is what we show you in the program, but let me just show you real quick, just one nugget you can take right now. Does that sound good? Yes? All right, give me some energy. Say, bring it on, Noah. Woo! Awesome, all right. All right, so here they are, three steps, or 3 questions right here from step 3. All right, so if I could ask blank one question, what would it be? So first of all, you're targeting your targets, right? You're identifying your targets. Who you want to target? Do you want to target celebrities, right? Like I've done. People ask me all the time, how'd you get all those endorsements? I asked, right? If I could ask blank one question, if I could ask Marie Osmond, it was her idea to take the picture, which is so funny. I didn't even have to ask her. She said, hey, do you want to get a picture with the Brooks? I'm like, yes, that would be great, right? I'm like, awesome, right? But you get what I'm saying, all right? So one question, what would it be? Question number 2. What value do I bring to this relationship? What is everybody else doing? What can I get? Thank you. We're flipping it. What value do I bring to this relationship? Wait a minute, that's going to flip your thinking, yes? Right? Do people run from people who are trying to give value, or do they run from people who are trying to get something from you? Which one? The ones who are trying to get something, right? We can all sense that, feel it. Yuck, right? So what value am I bringing? And then question number 3, how will I communicate my value without being what? Needy, pushy, salesy, sleazy, right? We don't want any of that, right? How will I communicate my value, right? Jess and Ray have been going over this, with what they've been talking about. We walk you through this in the program, right? So this is about getting rid of your head trash that says, oh, they won't want to talk to me, okay? That voice is never going to stop. He's always going to be there, or she is always going to be there saying, I'm sure they're going to say no, Okay, well, do it anyway. How am I going to communicate that value, right? Because there's only two types of value, folks. There's only two types of value here on planet Earth. Money and what the other person perceives as value. That's it, right? So if you have an awesome product, service, opportunity, and they don't perceive it as value, they don't perceive it as value. Can you control that? Not really. You can influence it, though. That's what we show you. We show how to influence that. All right, so, going back to the endorsements that I've gotten from the biggest names in the industry, how do you think I did that? I showed them the value to them. Jack Canfield wrote the foreword for that book that Ray was talking about, Secret Code of Success. Marie Forleo, she's a dear friend of mine. Gary Vee, John Assaraf, Stephen Covey. I had the opportunity to interview Stephen Covey before he sadly passed away. And he was my biggest influence. The reason that I got into this industry was because of Stephen Covey, and I got that amazing testimonial. Noah St. John's work is about discovering within ourselves what we should have already known all along. We are truly powerful beings with unlimited potential. I cried when I received that endorsement from him because he was the reason I got into this business. And Jenny McCarthy, right? A lot of people love Jenny McCarthy. I've been on her show 3 times, right, on Sirius XM radio. So I just asked, I said, could I use that endorsement? She said it on the air that Noah St. John has created something magical. And they said, sure. And I go, there you go, right? It don't have to make it so hard. Everybody good? Yes? All right, so we walk you through all of that, how to go and build those relationships. And finally, step 4, how to make more what? Money, right, okay? So we've got time, energy, relationships, and money. And we're walking you through this whole thing. Now, in the very, very short time I have with you, how many of you have heard of my discovery of Afformations? How many of you have heard of that? How many of you have never heard of Afformations and think I'm saying it wrong? Okay, so very, very briefly, we all know what an affirmation is, right? An affirmation is a statement of something you want to be true. Why do we know this? Because everybody else teaches that, right? So a classic affirmation, when I'm doing keynote speeches, when I'm speaking at network marketing companies and doing keynotes and private workshops, one of the things I like to do is have everybody say an affirmation. And I'd say a classic one like, I am rich. All right, so everybody say that with me. I am rich. And your brain says, no, you're not. Right? Am I right or wrong? Right? For most people, 99% of the planet, you hear you say the thing, and then you go, no, I'm not, right? So now what the traditional teachers told you is, well, just repeat it 1,000 million billion gajillion times, and then you'll believe it someday. Okay, now for some people that worked just fine. Some people worked great. For millions of us, it didn't work at all. Right? So I was sitting in my college dorm room, just like this picture, and I had all these statements. I'm happy, I'm rich, I'm successful. No, I'm not. I'm miserable, and unhappy, and broke. Right? So I'm like, what are they not telling us? And then what I talk about is the shower that changed everything. How many of you have had those aha moments in the shower, right? And I realized, right, I said, now wait a second. We're saying these statements that we don't believe, but the human mind responds to questions. And I said, well, what would the question be? All right, so we have the statement, I am rich, and your brain says, yeah, right. I said, what would the question be? And then I said, why am I so rich? Try that. Just say that. Why am I so rich? Now, what's immediately happening in your brain? Your brain's searching for the answer, right? Just like if I ask you, why is the sky blue? Your brain goes, I don't know, why is the sky blue? But you're searching, right? So what the brain really does, the purpose of the brain or how it operates is asking and searching for answers to questions. So I said, wait a second, what if instead of saying statements that we don't believe, what if we just ask better questions? And I said, I don't know, what would that look like? Well, let's see. Let's take a classic affirmation, I am rich, and your brain says, yeah, right. And then I said, well, what if we turned it around and made it into a question? Why am I so rich? And your brain has to search for the answer. So what we're talking about is the law of sowing and reaping. As you sow, so shall you reap, right? So, but what are we sowing? We're sowing seeds of thought. But what are most people doing? Sowing lousy thought seeds. Why am I so stupid? Why am I so fat? Why isn't my business growing? Why can't I hit my goals? Why isn't my business growing fast enough? Why is there more month left at the end of the money? And when you ask lousy questions, what do you get? Lousy answers, and that creates a lousy life. So I said, wait a second, what if instead of asking lousy questions that lead to lousy answers and create a lousy life, what if we just flip the whole thing on its head and start asking empowering questions that lead to phenomenal answers and create a wonderful life? And as I was standing there in the shower, April 1997, I said, holy cow, I think I just invented something. And so I had to give it a name, and the name that I gave it was Afformations. Not affirmations, but Afformations. And what so many of our clients and people all around the world now are calling it is the missing piece or the missing link to a life of abundance. And why are they called Afformations? The word affirmations comes from the Latin word firmare, which means to make firm, the word afformations that I invented. And by the way, it's perfectly legitimate to invent a new word, right? When you have a new way of looking at the universe or new technology, isn't it true we need a new word to describe it, right? Facebook, YouTube, Google, webinar, these are all new words in terms of human history. Now, of course, we use them every day. A new technology, we need a new word. Well, what I teach you in the program is a new technology of the mind, right? So afformations comes from the Latin word formare, which means to make or to form or give shape to. So what I often say to my coaching clients is, what if you're making something firm, but it's in the wrong form? That means you formed a life you didn't want. Why am I so stupid? Why am I so fat? Why isn't my business growing? Why can't I lose weight? Why can't I reach my goals? You formed it unconsciously, but nevertheless, the law doesn't care, right? Sowing and reaping, right? So as you sow, so shall you reap. The law doesn't care. So now using afformations, my afformations method, we can take conscious control of the questions you're asking, change your questions, and change your life. Does that sound good to anybody? Yes? All right, fantastic. Well, thank you. Thank you. All right, so the question is, what is your why to? What is your really big why to? Taking the kids on vacation, taking your family on vacation, hitting those incentive trips, walking across the stage, getting that recognition. Here's one of our coaching clients. Following Noah's system, I went from stuck platinum to presidential diamond in 18 months and built a multi-million-dollar team. This is Laura from one of the companies. And so the point is that this is who I was talking about earlier, she had a multi-thousand-dollar team. Now she has built a multi-million-dollar team because she's gotten unstuck. Linda from Dallas, her team's recruiting has grown 300%, and she's personally doubled her production since working with Noah. And here is Ling Ling that I showed you earlier. After hiring Noah as my business coach, I hit presidential diamond in less than a year after years of being stuck. My team is growing, and I feel great. All right, so this could be you. Does that all sound good? Yes? All right, fantastic. All right, so just picture it. Here you are, right? You're on that incentive trip. You're lying on the beach. You've got that drink with the umbrella in it, and your phone beeps, and you're like, oh, wow, look, I just made more money. Ha, I just got some more money in my bank account. And you're like, and people are looking at you, go, wait, how'd you do that? Last year, you worked like a dog. You were working all the time, and you weren't making any money. Now you're lying on the beach making money without even lifting a finger. How'd you do that? All right, so now you've got it because you got the secret. You got yourself unstuck, and you have leveraged your time, energy, relationships, and money. Does that all sound good? Yes? All right, fantastic. So now some of you are asking, hey, Noah, this all sounds amazing, but how exactly are you going to teach me to get 1 to 3 hours back in my day, overcome that fear that's holding me back, attract the right people to my business, stop procrastinating, cure shiny object syndrome, make more money while working less, all without being pushy or needy? I mean, is this going to be like this guy drinking from a fire hose, right? It's going to be like, all right? No, of course not. No. We would not make you drink like a fire hose. So this is what Ray and Jess and I are inviting you to join us in right now, and that is my Get Unstuck Now program, right? It's my step-by-step system, and I will walk you through everything. By the way, you notice SYSTEM is an acronym. It stands for Save Yourself Stress, Time, Energy, and Money. That's what our system helps you to do, to save yourself that stress, time, energy, and money. All right, well, let's look at what this is not. All right, let's get very clear on what this is not, thanks to Jim Carrey, right? It's not rah-rah motivation, right? You can see I'm not a motivational speaker, right? I'm a motivating speaker, a teacher. It's not another magic bullet saying, hey, make 50 grand in 50 minutes, push button, make money, right? We've all heard that before. We know that's not true. So this is my most popular online learning academy. This is a digital product program that's delivered right to your inbox to cure shiny object syndrome, so stop procrastinating so you have the time, energy, relationships, and money that you really desire. All right, so section 1 is how to get more time. That's what I showed you earlier. So I'm going to give you 4 simple steps to do more of what you're great at and stop wasting time doing things that you suck at. I'm going to give you 10 surprising ways to end the excuse of, I don't have enough time. How many times a day do you say, oh, I'd love to do it, but I don't have the time? We're going to get rid of that excuse. 5 powerful shortcuts to use what you have to get more of what you want. We're also going to show you how to stop procrastinating so you can end that anxiety and overwhelm. 7 steps to end the what should I be doing today problem. So many people come and say, I just don't know what I should be doing. And how to delegate effectively so you gain that 1 to 3 hours back in your day. We had one student go through this program, and he literally gained 1 to 3 hours back. He did $95,000 in sales in just 12 days. 12 days, $95,000 in sales. All right, so that's just section 1. That would be a whole class for everybody else, but no, that's just section 1 for us. Section 2 is how to have more energy. I'm going to give you that daily routine so you can win the day, right? Win the morning, win the day. 7 little known tips to beat shiny object syndrome so you don't have to get distracted anymore. My foolproof 8-minute plan so you have more energy than you've had in years. Also, I'm going to show you how to gain 5 steps to gain clarity and focus so you can cure that shiny object syndrome, how to use my FP method so you can overcome the fear of selling, fear of reaching out to people, that fear of rejection that holds so many back, and 4 simple ways to renew your energy so you never have to psych yourself up anymore. Section 3, how to attract those great relationships. 8 fast and easy ways to remove bottlenecks that are keeping you stuck right now, even if you feel totally stuck right now. 6 killer strategies to simplify your life and streamline your business, and how to get those testimonials from the big players in your industry, even if no one knows who you are right now. That's where we all started. That's where I started. That's where we all start. And how to get more of what you want from people who've never heard of you, which is most people. My proven templates to communicate your value without being needy, without being pushy or salesy, and 5 proven ways to persuade people without being pushy or salesy. All right, and finally, section 4, how to make more money while working less. I'm going to give you my dream formula, DREAM, to stop procrastinating so you can 10x your results so much faster, just like the clients that I've shown you here today and so many more. 12 ways to have more income and happiness starting immediately, and my proven blueprint to design the freedom lifestyle of your dreams. Also, my DC method to get clear on your vision and goals so you can reach them faster. My 14-point checklist to grow your team so you can rank and advance rapidly. And how to use my Afformations method so you become fundamentally unstoppable. Does that all sound good? Any of those bullets sound good to you? All right. Awesome. I mean, just any of those would be really, really awesome, but you get all of them. All right, so there's 4 major sections: time, energy, relationships, and money. There's 24 step-by-step videos, so it's not drinking from the fire hose. You can start wherever you want. It's a modular program. So if you want to go right to money, you can start right on money. If you need more time, go to the time, energy, and so forth. You got executive summaries. You're going to put it into action with implementation worksheets, the complete system to cure that shiny object syndrome, get you unstuck, and you get instant access. Now, for the people who book us, when people come to us and they want that coaching with us, my half-a-day, VIP half-day with us at our home costs $13,000. That's right on our website, right from our website, $13,000. We either come to you or you come to us, $13,000 for half a day. But because of our relationship with Ray and Jess, we wanted to give you something special. That live event special is $1,000 value. Access to that inner game coaching so you get rid of that head trash that's holding you back. Total package value, $2,200. But if all this did was empower you to get unstuck in the next 28 days or less, not 12 months, not 6 months, 28 days to get you unstuck. If all it did was help you eliminate shiny object syndrome, help you stop procrastinating so you can finally have that time freedom, that financial freedom that you've been dreaming of, wouldn't it be worth every penny, even at that investment? Yes, the $2,000. I mean, you would get that back 10, 100-fold, which so many of our clients have. But I want to make this a really easy decision for you because you're here and because you're watching on live stream. So we have our Get Unstuck Now live event special. All right, that's a $1,000 value, access to inner game coaching, over $2,000 of value. It's normally $997 online, but today it's $497 because you're here and because you're on the live stream. But it gets even better. I want to make this irresistible for you. All right, and that is the first 55 of you in this room and also online are going to get 4 weeks of implementation coaching calls with me. Right, so there's no more excuses. If you have any questions, you're going to ask me. It will be me live on the phone with you. All right, so however many show up for these calls, I will answer all of your questions. All right, so by the way, you can get up right now and start getting this if you want. So the first 55 of you, because there are over 1,000 people online. Okay, so 4 weeks of implementation calls. You get that with me. Today only, you're also going to get exclusive money-making interviews. I've interviewed 150 of the top money makers in this industry and in many, many industries. So it's not just about network marketing, it's about all industries. And you can learn so much from all different industries. All right, so that's another $500 bonus value. By the way, I'm going to also give you, for the first time ever, my exclusive interview with Ray Higdon. That's never before been released. I interviewed him more than 5 years ago. As he said, we've been friends for a decade now. So I've never released this before. It's just for the people in this room and the people watching on live stream. That's an additional $500 value. And guess what? You can get your course for free because we're going to be doing a 30-day Get Unstuck Now challenge. Ray does a 14-day challenge. Well, we decided to double it and do a 30-day challenge. No, my point is that every week we're going to issue you a challenge, right? Because I told you there's how many sections? 4, right? So we're going to do a challenge on time, on energy, on relationships, and on money, right? And so you're going to do a challenge right? Very similar to the 14-day challenges. It's 30 days because this is a 28-day program, right? And the winner will receive $500 cash plus an exclusive interview with me that you can use for your team. Does that sound good? So the point is your class is free, right? All right, so that's one winner. So all you have to do is join and take action. How's that sound, right? So the first step to getting unstuck is getting up, getting up out of your chair. That's the first step to get unstuck. All right, so the point is that the inner game coaching, the Get Unstuck Now online intensive, the first 55 get that 4 weeks of implementation calls, the top leader interviews, the Ray Higdon exclusive interview, and the 30-day challenge with me. Over $6,000 of value. By the way, the first 10 of you, I'm going to give you something special. I forgot to mention this earlier, but we have something, when I talked about Afformations, I have something here in my pocket. This is called my Afformations Mastery. All right, so what it is, it's a jump drive, a little flash drive. You put it right in your computer, your laptop, okay, and it has over $1,000 of value. We just decided to give this to the first 10 of you who get up right now and get this. This is only available in this room, okay, so the first 10 of you get $1,000 of training right here on this jump drive. You can walk away with this, and by the way, you see the little light on there, see? So we're lighting your way to success. Does it get any more clever? No, it does not, all right? All right, so you could use this right now in your hotel room or on your flight home. All right, so all of you getting up, get that, the first 10 of you. By the way, here's the link for the live streamers, noahstjohn.com/getunstucknow. Nick said he was going to put that in there in the chat, but there you go. You can just grab that, noahstjohn.com/getunstucknow. That is a limited time. You will see the countdown timer, and when it's done, it's done. All right, so when that's gone, that's gone. All right, so by the way, we do have a to-pay option, $497 paid in full, or $277 to-pay option. You can just talk to the awesome people at the back table. All right, so right now you have two very simple options, very, very simple. Take everything that you just learned and try to do it on your own, right? That's what a lot of people try to do, and that's fine. You know, if you choose to do that, that's fine. I mean, it's going to just take you longer. That's all. It's just going to cost you time, right? And time is the one resource we can never get back. All right, so but you can definitely choose that if you wish, or you can just move fast and compress time, right? And do it with our team and my system and join us and Get Unstuck Now so you get that time back. You can literally get your life back in just 28 days or less. Sound good? Okay, so those are your options. Now, this is for you if you're tired of being stuck, if you want to stop procrastinating, if you want to cure shiny object syndrome, if you're not where you want to be, if you want to be on that stage, you know, like my other clients, and getting those recognition awards, and if you desire to get more from every investment you'll ever make, because think about it, what's the one thing that's in common with every investment you're ever going to make? You. Right? So if you're still stuck, if you haven't learned this process, then generally speaking, you're going to stay stuck. And that's what we want to help you avoid. All right, so this is not for you, of course, if you're looking for get rich quick, if you don't like step-by-step guidance, if you don't want someone helping you who's helped people just like you to add multiple 6 and 7 figures. I don't know why you wouldn't want that, but that's not for you if that's that. All right, so just a few more case studies, experiences. This is Cleedra from Atlanta. The momentum that Noah's program has created in all areas of life. Remember, we're not just talking about money, business, health, love, and more. I made my investment back in less than 48 hours after joining. It's not about the money that you're investing right now. It's about how you're going to create that ROI, right? That massive 10x, 20x, 50x ROI. I mean, let's see, a $497 investment making millions. It's kind of a no-brainer, right? Susan was before working with Noah, I spent over $60,000 on shelf help program. Everybody got shelf help at home, right? Some shelf help. All right, so the point is she had lots of shelf help. She was really stuck. She was deep in debt, about to declare bankruptcy within 6 months of following my system. She says she landed her dream job, now making a 6-figure income, doing what she loves. So from $60,000 in debt to a 6-figure income, all that happened in less than a year because we helped her get unstuck. And here's Bill. He's a real estate investor. So this isn't just for network marketing. So maybe you have people in your family, you know, doing real estate or other different things. Bill, he says, I went to Noah's event to debunk him as just another charlatan. This is a direct quote. He literally came to debunk me. To say, this guy's a fake. He can't do all those things that he claims. I'll show you, he said. We have him on video saying this in front of 100 people. And he says, now I got to eat crow because this is the best event I've ever been to. I've been doing this for 40 years. He said, Noah, you've taught me more in 3 days than I've learned in the previous 40 years. Now he's doing multi-billion-dollar deals. And he said, thanks for believing in me and giving me that confidence just when I needed it most. And of course, you remember Ray's quote, Noah's training was instrumental in helping me bounce back into major profits. Okay, so as I said earlier, just in conclusion, I like to brag about all of you. We have on our website, we call it our wall of fame. All right, so I want to put all of you on my wall of fame, right? I'd just rather brag about you than me. That's just me, right? Stephen Covey said something very important to me when I interviewed him before he passed away. He said, Noah, I want people to leave my events, my seminars, more impressed with themselves than with me. And that made a lasting impression on me. And that's why I want you to be impressed with yourselves and that you know you can do it. And we can help you get there faster when we help you and when you get unstuck now. All right, so let's get you unstuck now. By the way, remember Sheila, right? Remember, you thought I forgot that story, right? Remember Sheila was here. I was speaking at that conference, doing a keynote speech. She was sitting right where you are. She was very skeptical. She spent all that money, tens of thousands of dollars. She said, oh, this probably isn't any different, right? And she said, gosh. But then something just clicked inside her and said, you know what, I'm just gonna take that risk. I'm gonna step through that fear. She joined us, and here is what happened for Sheila. She was stuck, remember I told you, at $5,000 per month. We got her in less than a year to sales of over $75,000 a month. Anybody good at math? That's a 15 times increase in less than 1 year. Would anybody be okay with that? Okay, just okay, somewhere around there, right? Before working with Noah, my sales were stuck at $5,000 a month. After working with Noah, my sales grew to over $75,000 per month. That's not a typo. And what I love about this quote, she says, thank you, Noah, for taking the lid off my thinking and letting me know that I could have the best. Many of you, unfortunately, have your lid on your thinking. We want to get that off of your thinking because everything you desire is on the other side of fear. So remember what Ray Higdon also said yesterday, whatever you're most resistant to is what's going to move the needle for you the fastest. All right, so if you're resistant to getting unstuck, that's exactly why we want you to join us and why we're inviting you to join us. And just in closing, my last thought is that if you keep doing the same thing, I guarantee you'll keep getting the same results. Ben Franklin said there's only 2 guarantees in life, death and taxes, right? But with all due respect to old Ben, I would argue this is the 3rd guarantee. If you keep doing the same thing, I guarantee you'll get what? The same results. All right, so we're inviting you to join us now and get unstuck now. Here's everything you're going to get. You can see talk to the folks back there. Live streamers again. There is the link, noahstjohn.com/get unstuck now. And for those of you who want to talk about having me do trainings for your team or your company, here are 2 links you can go to. Booknoah.com, that's to speak at company events, or of course you can just come talk to me in the back, but booknoah.com, and of course my main website, noahstjohn.com. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to share these secrets and strategies with you. We look forward to helping you get unstuck now. It's such a privilege to be here with you, and Ray and Jess and Garrett and all the amazing people on the team. Thanks so much for your time. I'm Noah St. John, and I look forward to being a part of your success story. We'll see you soon, everybody. Bye-bye for now. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Everybody over there, the crowd is live and I will do this. Party people in the house, move.